Yeah, so we started having conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and I will never forget. It was like it had to be like one of the top like five conversations that we had. One of like that he already had came to me and asked me like straight up like, well, just a question, like if things do get serious between us, like, do you see yourself relocating? Because like overall, like
Yeah.
if he wanted something serious, so he made it like
Clear.
clear and
Mm-hmm.
and brought it to my attention like listen like because I could have been like no, my business is, I'm set here, I'm not moving, I
Mm-hmm.
built something here. But me being like, I was very in control of my life as far as
Mm-hmm.
like um financially, I was able to move anywhere I wanted to, and my kids,
Mm-hmm.
it was just me and my kids, and I could, my business is commute. So it was like, yeah, if I felt that I came to that point, then you
I'll
know
be willing.
I'd be
And
willing.
that's important. I think that's an important part of the conversation to discuss because as a man, you have to be intentional. Hey, this is what I want out of my life. I don't even date women for any other reason. So I think that you have to understand, like, as a man, if you want a woman, a good woman, and she is a good woman, she's gonna want you to be intentional. She's gonna want you to know what you want, and you're gonna want her to know what she wants. So that question that I asked her, hey, if we move forward and we end up dating in a relationship together, are you willing to relocate? Because that's what it's gonna take for us to be in a sex, just based on our circumstances. It's gonna take that for us to be in a successful relationship. Are you willing to do that sometime in the future? Not tomorrow, but sometime in the future.
That
And
and that as me as a woman, I like that. What turned me on? I was like, of course, like because this man is telling me he knows what he wants, and he's letting me know like I'm not playing no games. Like, are you? If that's something you're interested in?
And to her credit, because she wasn't playing no games either, that's why it was attractive for her because she was serious about being with somebody and I was serious about being with somebody.
Yes, exactly. But in the midst of all this, one thing that I think that we focused on was going back to like being the best version of ourselves we could be. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like we just got together and we clicked right off the bat.
Right.
Obviously, he was still putting in work and I was still putting in work
Yep. Yep.
outside of just dating. So I know for myself, I did a lot of work on myself. What are some things that you did that you felt that
Yeah.
molded you to the man that you are today?
I started being more intentional. I think that's the first thing, being more intentional about what I wanted out of life. Like, okay, I want a family, I want a wife, I want children. Um, what does it take for me to get those things and sustain them? Not just get them, because you can have a child and you can get with any type of woman, but what kind of woman do you want? What kind of future do you want? How do you see yourself? What things do you want for yourself? So being intentional about those things and really understanding myself, I think was a big part of it. Um, so I think that was the first step. And then once I started taking steps to accomplish those things, such as becoming a better provider, I want to make sure that I'm making enough money that I can support a wife and a couple children, right? I want to make sure that I'm doing the self care things, like I'm starting to take care of my hygiene better. I'm making sure my hair stay cut. I'm making sure that I buy expensive soaps and not just using the Irish Spring like most men from where we come from, do. Like, bro, make sure you're doing real self care. I think getting closer to God, I think that was the closest that I had ever been to God at that point when I started dealing with her, is because I was just in prayer a lot. I was making sure that I was always meditating and always taking my time out to go sit by the water. I sit by the water every week at that point, making sure that I'm reading my Bible, praying, just trying to be a better man of God. That way I can attract a woman of God, right? Things like that as a man. Those are the things that I was working on when I was single, and God just blessed me with somebody. God, the Bible says that God diligently or rewards those that diligently seek Him. So I think that when you seek God and you're diligent about it, God rewards you and blesses you with the things that the desires of your heart. So, what do you think as a woman were some of the things that you were working on?
There was a few things. I know that obviously being a woman,
Mm-hmm.
like and like of course I put God first. I was very close with God, and I did, you know, pray and made sure that He always came first in everything that I did. But as far as being a woman, what I was really focused on is obviously appearance, right? So I was making sure that I was healthy and I was in shape, because I always told myself like not even just for me, but I was like, when I do meet the man of my dreams, like I want him to have the best version of me, like physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to be in the best shape like of my life. Like I want to get in the best shape. So I was very eating a lot better, making sure my skin was a lot clearer, working out consistently. And I did have a manifest list that I had that I kept on my mirror. And it would say, like, all the things that I wanted for myself. And I wrote it in, I think it's dated as like 2019 or 2020, but and one of the things on there that says, my husband will be a man of God and he will love me unconditionally. And I really did. I read all of those. There was like maybe 10 or 12 things, but I read them all to myself every single day in the mirror. And I kind of like felt like I did manifest that. And not only did I manifest it, but I worked towards it. There was financial goals on there. There was stability goals,
Yeah.
emotional goals, like everything that I wanted for myself. So I practiced just being the best version of myself. I didn't go out and do what a lot of the other women were doing. My age, I have a lot of friends. I don't get me wrong, like I did go out, but and I partied and stuff like that. But I wasn't in the scene as far as like sleeping with multiple men. I wasn't allowing that energy into my body because I just wanted to save myself for the person that I felt was worth having it. So that was very important to me. It's just, making sure I was like, us women, we're like, we just want a nice body and some long hair. So I was taking care of my hair. I was just taking care of like myself, spiritually and physically. And then just, whatever came my way, I wasn't looking for it. That was really big on that. I was like, I don't want to keep looking for love because that's where I felt that I was let down every single time when I would meet somebody, we go on a date. And because my intentions were to have a husband, I looked at everybody as a husband, or will he will be my husband, or he like, does he have the qualities of a husband?
Yeah, potentially.
So yeah, potentially. So yeah, I just kind of like was like, you know what, I'm gonna let things flow and just
I think I was in that same space. I made the same mistake. Like, I wanted a wife, and I held everybody to that standard. Like, and sometimes you can make that mistake in dating, So I think we took, for our version of slow, we took it slow with each other, And it's ironic that we were both in the same space at the same time, And we had previous relationships with children, so both of us were like really like, okay, we need to have something serious, because not just for us, but we wanted something serious for our children, So I think we both came off divorces. We both were in previous relationships, and it was important for us to get back into a space of stability where we had relationships that we felt like, this is a stable relationship, and this is my person, this is my wife, this is my husband, and we were both in that same space, and it was a blessing for us to find each other, because only God can put somebody or put two people together in that way, especially where we're living in opposite sides of the country at the time, long distance relationship, long distance dating.
yeah, it was hard and expensive.
It was expensive and hard, it wasn't easy at all. But we felt that it was something unique and something that was worth it. And just from the conversations, we were just so honest with each other and so open. And that's one thing I loved about her, in our talking stage, right? That she was just so honest and open, and this is who she is. And it was just right up front. And I was the same way. And we just had the most beautiful conversations because of that. We were being honest with each other, and just everything was flowing. So